It was just an ordinary morning. Toast. Fried eggs. Then, darkness. When I woke up, my wife was sobbing, and the doctor looked at me like he'd just pulled someone back from the edge. "You had a severe heart attack, Mr. Harold. If you hadn't come in time, I'm not sure you'd be here." I used to think my diet was fine. Nothing extreme. But for decades, I'd been pouring garbage fuel into the engine that keeps me alive. During recovery, I ran into an old friend. A man who once had clogged arteries, now looking stronger than ever. His secret? A doctor named Caldwell Esselstyn and something called the whole food plant-based diet. "You should look into it, Harold. It saved my life." Those words haunted me. So I started digging, not just to survive, but to come alive again. If you or a loved one has battled heart disease, stay till the end. I'll share the top 10 lessons from Drive Esselstyn that didn't just help me reverse heart disease naturally, but also made me fall in love with breakfast again. Have you or someone close experienced a heart attack? Leave a comment below, I read every one. After that heart attack, my body wasn't the only thing hurting, my spirit was shattered. Every morning I woke up, wondering, will today be the day I collapse again? At first, I believed the medications would be enough. But then I read a line by Doctor Caldwell Esselstyn that sent chills down my spine. You cannot treat heart disease with drugs while continuing to eat the foods that cause it. I dove deep into keywords like plant-based nutrition for heart disease, reverse heart disease naturally, endothelial cell health. And I discovered something no doctor had ever told me in 70 years, food can be medicine or poison. I remember sitting across from my wife that evening, eyes teary, and saying, "I don't want to just survive. I want to live with you for at least 20 more years." I started with breakfast. Instead of eggs and bacon, I switched to a plant-based breakfast for heart health, oatmeal with berries, a sprinkle of flax seeds, and chia seeds. 2 weeks in, my body felt lighter, I slept better, and oddly, I started falling in love with food again. Feeling overwhelmed with heart health advice? Comment "Plant Power" below, and I'll send you my top 3 heart-healing breakfast recipes. Some mornings I'd stare into my bowl of oatmeal and wonder, can this really heal a heart that's been through so much? But then I'd recall Dr. Caldwell Esselstyn's powerful words. If you stop injuring the endothelium, it will heal itself. That's when it hit me, every spoonful of oats, every handful of berries, was feeding my endothelial cells, the silent doctor within our blood vessels. I had taken every cholesterol-lowering pill imaginable. But only after adopting a whole food plant-based diet did my cholesterol truly drop. My doctor had warned me I'd need a stent. Yet after just 4 months, my blood markers improved so drastically, he asked in disbelief. "Harold, what are you doing? Your heart. It's healing." I'm not a doctor. I'm just an old man who survived a heart attack, and followed what science proved works. Oats cholesterol lowering. Berries antioxidant benefits. Flax seeds and heart health. Curious about my heart-healing breakfasts? Drop a heart fuel in the comments, I'll share the 3 meals that changed my life. If there's anything smaller than a pill but more powerful than any drug I've taken, it's chia and flax seeds. One morning, as I was having my usual oats, my granddaughter said, "Grandpa, why not add some chia seeds? They're good for your heart." I chuckled. These tiny little things. But as it often goes with life, that tiny suggestion took me down another unexpected road. Just 6 weeks after adding chia and flax into my daily breakfast, my fiber intake skyrocketed. And the result? Fiber for cholesterol worked like magic. My LDL cholesterol, that silent threat to my heart, dropped significantly. I started researching. Turns out, omega-3 rich seeds like chia and flax do more than support brain health. They protect the endothelium, fight inflammation, and improve circulation. But the real twist came when I skipped them for a few days. That subtle chest discomfort returned. That's when I realized, not all superfoods are fads. Some truly make a difference. If you're consistent. Now, every morning, I sprinkle a spoonful of flax seeds over my oats and stir a teaspoon of chia into lemon water. Simple, affordable, yet powerful. A small habit, but one that keeps my 70-year-old heart strong. Have you tried omega-3 rich seeds? Share how you use chia or flax in your meals. I'll feature the 3 best tips in a future shout-out. There was a time I thought the idea that food heals was just a myth. Until a jar of sauerkraut brought me back to life. After a lingering flu, I felt off. Though I'd recovered, I was constantly fatigued, slept poorly, and was irritable. Even climbing stairs made my heart pound. The doctor said, nothing alarming, likely post-COVID fatigue. But I refused to live like a faded shadow. A friend, a chef and fermentation fanatic, suggested something curious. You'd be surprised how closely gut microbiome and heart health are linked. I began adding fermented foods to my meals, kimchi, sauerkraut, a little plant-based yogurt. Then, a quiet miracle unfolded. Within 10 days, I slept more deeply, felt emotionally lighter, and my blood pressure, mildly elevated for years, started to stabilize. I dug deeper. Turns out, fermented foods' heart benefits come from reducing inflammation and boosting short-chain fatty acids, which repair the blood vessel lining. That's when I realized. Anti-inflammatory foods aren't just berries or leafy greens. Fermented foods, when used wisely, are a silent elixir for your heart. Have you tried fermented foods before? Comment your favorite one below. I'm hunting for the best sauerkraut recipe, and who knows, yours might make it into my next video. I used to think nut milks were just a trendy thing for millennials, until one glass of oat milk every morning radically changed my heart health. One morning, after a routine checkup, the doctor looked at me and said, "Harold, your LDL has crossed the danger line. We need to talk cholesterol." I was shocked. I ate carefully, no red meat, no deep frying. But I'd ignored one key thing: my breakfast was all empty carbs. White toast. Creamy coffee. Margarine. No fiber, no nutrients. Just empty calories. I changed my morning ritual. Unsweetened oat milk, with a sprinkle of chia seeds, flax seeds, and a few slices of berries. In just 4 weeks, my LDL dropped by 18%. I thought the doctor made a mistake, but it was real. Why? Oat milk cholesterol contains beta-glucan, a type of soluble fiber that pulls LDL cholesterol out of the digestive tract before it enters the bloodstream. Combined with chia seeds' benefits and flax seeds' heart health, I was building a morning shield for my heart, no pills needed. Since then, I've dubbed this my plant-based breakfast for heart health: simple, satisfying, and powerful. What milk do you drink in the morning? Drop your favorite in the comments. I might just try your pick next week and share the results in my next episode. What if I told you a handful of colorful berries could polish your arteries every morning? Would you eat them? I used to overlook berries, thought they were just decorative fruit at fancy hotel breakfasts. But when my heart began protesting, I turned back to nature, and found berries. Blueberries, raspberries, strawberries, packed with antioxidants, not just for glowing skin, but to restore endothelial cell health, the crucial inner lining that keeps our arteries strong and elastic. I'll never forget sitting on that hospital bed, stunned, as the cardiologist pointed at my echocardiogram. Your endothelium is thickening, blood isn't flowing freely. If we don't act fast, a heart attack is just around the corner. I was terrified. But I was also grateful. I still had time to change. Every morning, I now blend a simple smoothie: berries, oat milk, and flax seeds. Sweet, tangy, refreshing. A delicious ritual, but inside my body, a silent cleansing begins. Berries' antioxidant benefits neutralize free radicals, those tiny troublemakers that inflame our vessels. And they boost endothelial cell health, repairing and protecting the vital artery lining. 3 months later, my inflammation markers were drastically down. The doctor looked shocked. "What magic did you do, Harold?" I smiled. "I just listened to nature. You can start tomorrow. Just add a handful of berries to your breakfast. And if you've already tried this, share your experience below. I read every comment. I used to believe bottled mineral water was the safest choice for heart health, until one fateful morning. I was preparing my usual smoothie with berries, antioxidant benefits, holding a plastic bottle of water, when a headline caught my eye. Microplastics found in arteries, quadruple heart attack risk. I froze. As I read more, my hand trembled, nearly dropping the bottle. Researchers discovered microplastic particles embedded in hardened arterial plaques. Not only do they trigger chronic inflammation, but they damage the delicate endothelial cells, the very lining that keeps our arteries smooth and resilient. And the biggest culprit? Plastic bottled water. I panicked. What should I drink now? But I remembered Dr. Lee's words, choose what's natural, simple, and within your control. That day, I installed an NSF-certified water filter at home, switched to glass bottles, and doubled down on my plant-based nutrition for heart disease, especially chia seeds, flax seeds, and berries. Nature's frontline soldiers against inflammation. The results? Within 6 months, my inflammation markers significantly dropped. I wasn't just surviving, I was thriving with a stronger heart. How many plastic bottles do you drink each week? Try counting and comment below. I'd love to hear what changes you'll make after hearing this. I used to believe olive oil was harmful for my arteries. Strange, right? But I once read that olive oil clogs arteries, so I cut it out completely. For 5 years, not a drop of oil touched my food. My salads were dry, my veggies uninspiring. But I held firm until I met my old friend John again. John had a heart attack at 64, yet recovered remarkably well. His secret? A whole food plant-based diet enriched with extra virgin olive oil. "Harold," he said, "it's the polyphenol in olive oil that saved me." Skeptical but curious, I dove into research. That's when I uncovered the scandal. Many commercial olive oils are cut with cheaper oils, damaging public trust. But according to Dr. Lee, if you know what to look for, monovarietal olive oils from single olive varieties like Koroniki, Greek, Picule, Spanish, or Muraiolo, Italian, you'll find oils loaded with polyphenol, delivering that peppery, vibrant taste that actually signals antioxidant strength. So I gave it a second chance. A fresh salad dressed with extra virgin olive oil, sprinkled with flax seeds, some berries, and a renewed belief in protecting my endothelial cell health. For the first time in years, my food felt like a warm hug to my heart. Now, I don't avoid olive oil. I embrace it, wisely, as a powerful ally in my plant-based breakfast for heart health. What's your take on olive oil? Have you avoided it too? Let me know in the comments. I'm curious to hear your story. They say it's only when we brush up against death that we learn the true value of a healthy heartbeat. But I didn't wait for that moment. I chose to change today. Since John recovered thanks to a whole food plant-based diet, I started my own path. I began to listen more closely to my body. Every wave of fatigue, every irregular pulse was a quiet whisper, "Harold, don't wait any longer." I started with something small, a plant-based breakfast for heart health every morning, chia seeds, oat milk, some berries, a spoonful of flax seeds. Nothing fancy, but it felt like I was falling back in love with my heart. I dug deeper into foods that reverse heart disease, read every word from Dr. Lee and Dr. Esselstyn. I revisited my old habits, my forgotten food choices, my outdated beliefs that quietly led me toward a heart attack. Today, I no longer speak of how to prevent a heart attack naturally as a theory. It's my vow. A vow to myself. To my wife. To my grandchildren who need me well, holding their hands across the park. If an old man like me can start over, so can you. Choose health, start with breakfast. Start today. Click like, share, if this journey meant something to you. And don't forget to hit subscribe so we can take more steps together, towards a stronger heart and a life that lasts.